Okay, good morning, guys. This is Ray from Next Forex Trade. Welcome, one and all. Today is the Friday, the 20th of September, 2019, and it being a Friday, it's not like I'm going to open any new positions, but I'll just whiz through the market as in any case, just to show you what opportunities there could be. Again, the reason I don't trade Fridays is, or avoid, I should say, trading Fridays is because having a trade open over the weekend does leave you susceptible to the market gapping. So that can mean more risk. So unforeseeable risk. So let's kick off AUDCAD. So this lots of bearishness that we're seeing, lower lows, lower highs, still in our overbought region. There's more scope to short this now. So obviously we've got the downtrend here on the daily. It's in an overbought type of area according to the standard deviation. 4 hourly is looking okay as well in this retrace here that we've seen recently. It has broken that price structure. So this was previously a story until this let's have a look here. So this upward move here was previous a story, but it did break its standard deviation, and it looks like it's finding resistance off of it now. So there's more context to this downtrend. So this move here, also we can see if we look at this previous where these previous highs are interacting as well. So there was previous lows here, finding some resistance over there. What I want to see on this is basically for it to pull back a bit more, pull back and interact with this upper edge of our standard deviation. Starting to do that on the hourly. Obviously this move here is the same as this move here. So yeah, this is looking good for shorts. Just needs to find a bit more value for money in my opinion. So seeing a reversal candle for this type of level on the hourly would be enough context to consider shorting this. So seeing the reversal candle and then the price moving past the low. So yeah, AUDCAD has some potential for shorts. So AUDCHF, no, not too happy with what that 4 hourly is doing on this in at the moment. Definitely bearish overall. You can see with lower lows, lower highs in the daily, it's in its overbought area, but this retrace that we see on the daily is still within its standard deviation on the 4 hourly. So I'd like to see a bit more bearishness, so for it to break these previous lows here and pull back before considering shorts on this. So pass. This is the AUDJPY. Same story with this. Some decent bearishness on the daily, but the 4 hourly is showing this move here, still within its standard deviation, at least at its lower edge, but would want to see it break before considering shorts. So what's this? This is the AUDUSD. Bearish on this overall, based on what the daily's saying. Let's just have a look. And sorry for the pauses again. Sometimes it's just the first time I'm seeing it, and you're just seeing my thought process as I think through what I'm seeing and find the words to describe it to you as well. So yes, it's just a bit too late for me at the moment. Certainly be bearish on this, but yeah, some good signs on the 4 hourly and the hourly as well. But much as one of the previous ones we just spoke about, I'd want to see it find some more value for money. So for it to pull back to our standard deviation here and see some reversals off of that would be the same on the hourly, obviously, because it's the same price action. So would want to see it move up to these levels here, see a reversal candle and it move past the low, and that would allow for a potential entry. Stop losses above these types of highs, it is a bit of a tricky one because the stops would be quite wide. So you'd have a smaller position size in, and you know, even on a 1-to-1, it would probably take profits to around these levels. Still stacks as a trade, but yeah, I mean, if that happens, if there are reversals off of that, definitely worth considering. Bearing in mind that you're potentially holding it over the weekend as well, for a good likelihood of that. just I would be thinking 0.5% to 1% in a position like that. If the entry signals do appear, there's always going to be the opportunity to scale in if the price does move in the direction that we need. So yeah, AUDUSD, it's looking okay. CAD CHF, no, pass on that. CAD JPY, bearish, but this is bullish, and this is flat, so no, wouldn't trade that. CAD CHF, sorry, CHFJPY. So this is a trade I entered yesterday. So we can see this is a short that I've taken. We've got the bearishness on the daily. Lows, lower lows, lower highs. The price in previous days was kind of interacting with our upper standard deviation channel, giving signs that price could move back towards, move back down. My 4 hourly as well, at the time of entry, it had already broken this level here. So it had broken out of that previous low. Not not true signs of a potential reversal, but what was enough to give context was what we were starting to see in this move here, which was clearer on the hourly. So just delete this here. So starting to see these lower highs, lower lows, clearer here on the hourly. And basically, yeah, there was enough info for me to consider shorting this. Got 1% in this. Stop loss above the previous highs here. So on the daily, this makes sense on multiple time frames because it's above the price structure on hourly, 4 hourly, and on the daily as well, above this previous resistance that we can see. There's loads of resistance at that level. So the price is probably going to have some trouble moving much higher than that level, giving me some room to maneuver if I do start to see higher highs here. I can at least move my take profit to break even. Obviously not looking to break even on this, looking to make a profit. So I'll be monitoring this today. If those highs are broken, then I will consider taking my take profit to break even. So pulling this up so that I can break even on this or stop above there. There's still a good likelihood that I will be able to get out and protect my capital. But overall, I'm looking for the price to move lower, break these previous lows. That will be a good kind of starting point that bearishness is going to continue. If it breaks these previous lows and starts to approach these levels here, currently seen as a 1-to-1 reward to risk. So we'll see how that pans out, and I will update you on Monday. So this is a Euro AUD. So nice signs of bullishness here on the daily. It's a bit tricky though for where the stop would be. Well, it's clear where the stop would be. It would be below these previous support here, because this is where we saw the price have trouble recently. This previous low, you can see there's zonal support and zonal support resistance going back as well. So below that level makes sense. It's just trying to enter this. Your stop loss would be very, very wide, meaning that the price would have to move much further to reach even a 1-to-1 reward to risk. There's a bit of an issue as well with our 4 hourly. We can see this is still quite bearish, whereas the move we're looking for is bullish. So this is still within our standard deviation to the downside. So really breaking definitively out of that and pulling back would be a better sign of bullishness. Could possibly put your stop slightly more aggressively, even above these levels. But it's really a case of waiting for it to happen. We need to see, some clearer signs of bullishness, I would say, on the 4 hourly before considering trades on the Euro AUD. So next, yeah, this is nice price action. I mean, I would have mentioned in previous videos, we've got some nice signs of the price kind of hugging the standard deviation here. Lots of interaction over previous days off of that level, where the price has found resistance and struggled to move much higher. So these highs here, you can see these previous highs where it's interacted with, probably goes back as well. So these levels quite zonal. So yeah, clearly the price is having trouble going higher than this, and also it's interacting with our standard deviation as well. Gives a reference point for our stop loss above those type of levels. Lower time frame, same move that we've captured here in this move here, just more price points So clearer lower lows and lower highs. Stop above that level would make sense. The only thing worrying at the moment is really this flatness that we're seeing really on low time frames here. What I'd like to see is this previous support here get broken. You can see, you know, there's previous resistance here, previous support, previous support, previous support. So it moving lower than that support and pulling back would be better signs of that bearishness holding true, and waiting for the price to break that support and pull back. It will give some context to our standard deviation to the downside. So if the price were to break this support here, be able to put a high to low standard deviation around this, and it would allow us to then wait for the price to pull back to either the middle or the upper edge of our standard deviation. But yeah, we need to wait and see on that. Euro CHF, no, bearish on this overall. Nice signs of potential resistance, but this move here on the 4 hourly sticks out. It's just too bullish at the moment. High highs, high lows. There's no real signs of bearishness there, so pass. No, that's not really great price action to trade. No, this one here again, bearish overall but bullish. Looking at this move here, so we need that price structure to be broken really before considering shorts. So pass. Euro USD. Yeah, I mean, I'm liking this bearishness. It's kind of in this overbought region here, which is good. Prices on these lower time frames here, 4 hourly, you can see that there's some clear signs of resistance, that it's been having trouble moving much higher than these points here, previous support here, these lows here. So my preference point would be above this previous high here for a stop, which would translate to the same to this lower high here in the daily. All right, so it would be above this, stop above that level. The main trouble at the moment though is our hourly and these 15 minutes, very choppy, not much kind of if anything slightly bullish. So yeah, the pivotal point for me really would be this support area here getting definitively broken, so breaking through that and then pulling back. So probably into next week, that might be something to keep an eye on, but definitely bearish on this. Yeah, just to see how that one pans out. GBP AUD, no. GBP CAD, no. GBP CHF, no. GBP JPY, no. No. And you can see how a lot of the time how quick the decision's made on some of these pairs. If it's not there, it's not there. There's nothing that you can really do to force the trade. It's going to do what it wants to do. So NZD CAD, no. This is one I was trading earlier in the week. Took some money off the table on this. This, I've said this in so many videos, when it approaches the low, the reason I like taking money off before the previous low is because as it approaches that low, it's likely to find support, and we can see it done exactly that in the yesterday's candle. Given it's broken through that slightly today, but it's just something to be aware of. So if I'm shorting this, I just need to be aware of where the price could stall. So as I said in my previous videos, I like to take money off before previous lows because the price has a tendency to bounce or break. And if we just take yesterday's candle as the example, it's come to that and it's found support at it. And today's candle, we'll just see how that works out. But there is still good likelihood that this is going to, you know, pull back. So when I've entered at these kinds of levels here, so I'm trying to enter on basically after the pullback, as soon as possible after price has pulled back and the lower time frames have started to show signs of bearishness, that's the time I'm trying to catch the trade, which means I can have my stop nicely above that lower high, or what I'd be assuming is the lower high at that point. And the profit potential from there is, you know, 1-to-1s here, 2-to-1s before these lows. But it just means I don't have to rely on the price breaking previous lows to make a profit. The price could double bottom, pull away, or it could just, you know, bounce and then slightly retrace and then break. But regardless, you know, being able to take money off the table before that happens is a major advantage. If you're trying to sell into that support at a much later point, say on this candle here, I don't know, let's say that we, for whatever reason, you're looking to sell based on the price moving, you know, past the low of this candle, or you're just only using a lower time frame in isolation, which is looking on the face of it very, very bearish. So you're thinking, oh right, I'm gonna sell this. I'm gonna sell this at, you know, around this point. But the problem is, if there's a major area of support on a higher time frame, like the 4-hourly, the daily, or even the weekly, and you've just sold into that, then there's a good chance that, you know, your price, your position is going to get stopped out, because as it approaches these previous lows, there's that good chance that it's going to retrace and you're going to get stopped out. So you could be right overall on the grand scheme of things in the terms of the direction of the trade, but because your stop is just too tight, it means that you'll get stopped out and you will lose money, which is never good. So next, NZDJPY. Yeah, some decent bearishness. Similar concept with the 4-hourly needing a bit more value, but I think there are better trades out there than this, from the ones I've previously mentioned. So I'd pass on that. NZDUSD, same story as CAD, NZDCAD. It's just it's too late in the phase. Needs a pullback to make this viable to short, and you'd be potentially selling into this support that is likely to happen as it approaches this previous low. So pass. USD CAD, pass. Yeah, this isn't great. Bearish kind of overall, but this is bullish. These are all kind of bullish or flat, so pass. USD JPY. Nope. Bearish, bullish, bullish to flat. You know, no. We want everything to be saying a similar story. So if the daily saying bearish, then all these other time frames should be bearish as well to make the trade viable. So pass. And Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is looking like this candle's interesting, because look, if we take our standard deviation, I've put around the price here, and just wary of this horizontal support as well. Yesterday's candle found support off of our standard deviation. You know, this support still holds true as well. So there's, if you look at early videos, the reference point is stops below this level here, because this is the clear indication where we'd be likely wrong in this move. But still bullish on this overall. It's just got very, very rangy in recent months. So it's just something to be, you know, cautious of as it approached. I mean, now that it's started to do this kind of boxiness, really the key points for it to break, in my opinion, would be this level here, where we've seen this previous highs and previous lows here. So it could have some trouble as it breaks through that. After that, probably these highs here. So that's the next milestone. But, you know, beyond that, at least to these highs, you know, stacks in terms of taking profits. Beyond that, who knows? It could likely find resistance as it hits those kinds of levels. But, you know, if it does break that, then it could go a lot higher. But really, it's just a bit rangy at the moment. But yeah, it's a good time for, you know, potentially taking positions at good value for money to be long on Bitcoin. Okay, yeah, that's it. Again, if you like what you are seeing, don't forget to subscribe. And also, I will be back on Monday with another video. See you then. Bye.